there's a real possibility that we get some further upside here. That wouldn't be surprising, because once you make an all-time high, you kind of get that momentum, that exuberance, that fear of missing out. So this certainly suggests that markets can kind of grind their way higher here for a bit, but eventually you're going to flip this sell signal back over at some point. There's not a lot of upside before you're eventually going to just kind of exhaust the market, exhaust buyers, and you're going to get that next sell signal. So here's what you need to know before the bell this morning. We're going to make an all-time high today. They occur in clusters as we continue to move up here. Triggering that MACD buy signals we talked about yesterday. Also in the commentary on the website. So if you're not getting our daily market commentary, go to the website, realinvestmentadvice.com, and subscribe, and we'll email it to you in the morning. But one thing we've talked about over the last couple of days is that we're about to trigger this MACD buy signal. We'll do it today, actually. And we're already back to overbought. So RSI is back above 70. You're triggering a MACD buy signal from a fairly high level here. And we've seen this before. Now, this certainly doesn't mean anything other than the fact that you can certainly continue to kind of grind your way higher. And as we've talked about before, is that if we go back and look at a similar period where we did this back in this June-July period of last year, the markets got registered a sell signal at a fairly high level. Markets were very overbought at that point. We worked off some of that overbought condition. But the MACD never really corrected, triggered another buy signal, and the market continued to advance for a while. And again, so there's a real possibility that we get some further upside here. That wouldn't be surprising, because once you make an all-time high, you kind of get that momentum, that exuberance, that fear of missing out. So a lot of money wants to come into the markets. It's also a new year. So money wants to come into the market. They want to participate. So this certainly suggests that markets can kind of grind their way higher here for a bit. But eventually you're going to flip this sell signal back over at some point. There's not a lot of upside before you're eventually going to just kind of exhaust the market, exhaust buyers, and you're going to get that next sell signal. Of course, when we did trigger that next sell signal and then we did work off that overbought condition, that was during that 10% decline through October of last year. So again, this is not uncommon that you're flipping signals at a fairly high level. That's just simply a sign of exuberance. It's kind of a sign of money flows coming into the markets. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. It does suggest that upside is somewhat limited in the near term. Now, again, that could be 3, 4, 5% higher. But before you're going to go substantially higher in the markets, you're going to have to work off this overbought condition, reset the market in terms of buyers and sellers to a degree, and then that's what allows you to have the next advance in the markets. It's just the cycle of the market and how it works. But again, we're just with this advance that started back at in October, beginning of November, is very long in the tooth. We've talked about these buying stampedes and selling stampedes. This has been a very long run of a buying stampede. So again, there's just simply a function of money, right, that's out there. And if you take a look at cash allocations of investors, they're getting fairly low. A lot of equity allocations, very little cash. Buying power is starting to get limited here to a great degree. And so everybody that's wanted to buy stocks have already bought stocks, and that's why you get these buying stampedes. But again, eventually, and don't know when it's going to happen or what's going to cause it, you will get the opposite of that, which will be a selling stampede. That's where you'll get a correction. That'll obviously give you a much better point to add aggressively to your portfolio. Again, we're in a bull market, nothing wrong with that. And again, you want to honor the fact that we're in a bull market, but use corrections and pullbacks to make better entry points. But again, right now, everything's fine. We're going to trigger a buy signal, suggest higher highs here over the next couple of weeks as we wrap up the month. That's what you need to know before the bell this morning.